Not only is it Friday, but Friday is the day before Saturday. And what the fuck are we doing on Saturday? Tell them.
D&D.
Yeah. You've got your little Witcher dice, and I've got my fucking Ragnarok dice, and we're ready to go.
We're ready to go.
Oh, we both need to make our fucking characters, so we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. And then we're good to go. And then old Darrelly Doo's gonna fucking meet us at about 5. And then we're golden.
Cushy.
He's gonna have to fucking join midway, I reckon. So, what an exciting time. If you've listened to this podcast from the fucking near beginning, we've always spoken about how we wanted to delve into D&D, and tomorrow is the fucking day unless we all crash on the way in.
O'Connor gets too angry with us for being dum-dums. He chucked us out.
Nah, he's too polite, isn't he? He'll just crack on. He's already planning it all. He's primed and ready. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
What if this is it?
I'm scared it is.
What if this is our thing?
I'm scared it is.
And we're like, we've got to drive to the middle of nowhere to fucking play D&D.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be good, isn't it? I still don't know what I'm going to pick class-wise.
No, I'm not 100%.
I didn't know whether to just try and make something around me or go full hog and proper fantasy with it.
Well, yeah, don't make something about you. It's the whole point of it, isn't it? To go as far from you as possible.
Well, no, because you can also... Well, you would like to take yourself on a little adventure. No?
I'm too fat and old for that shit, bro.
Bruv, you're like 13 stone.
I wish I was 13 stone. I weigh more than Matt, mate.
Yeah, but Matt's about 4 foot.
Matt is a big boy with a big belly.
It's all muscle, you'll be alright.
Yeah.
I'm thinking big fuck off weapon build. That's just gonna be me. I'm gonna make a big old fucking geezer. I'm either gonna make a big old motherfucker that swings big old motherfucking weapons around, or I'm gonna have a dwarf that swings big old motherfucking weapons around, because they're very powerful people.
Well, I'm gonna do as I'm told. Whatever Connor says to do, I'm gonna do. No questions asked.
You gotta make your fucking character. He can't tell you what to do there.
Yeah, well, I have a good look. I tried to do it a couple of times, but it's not happening for some reason.
What is that on the online thingy-majig that we did ages ago?
Yeah, I've done it like 4 or 5 times, and every time I've been in the middle of doing it, something's come up, and then when I try to go back on it, it won't let me click on the fucking character, so I have to start the whole thing again. So I kind of started getting snotty, calling me a fucking idiot. So we'll be having words tomorrow.
You can't kick off with him in his own gap.
Kick off with a DM.
Nah, I'm excited. I'm an absolute fucking novice, so it's good.
Oh, we all are. I only know from Baldur's Gate and from the podcast, but that still means nothing to me. Yeah, he messaged me, how many do you want, mate? With a picture with all these different characters.
How many have you made? Was that 4?
Yeah, I think I've made 5, but there's 4 there. So just won't let me edit it. Mine don't look like his screen either, so I don't know if it's just a phone thing. But yeah, we'll make it work.
Have you been watching any of that Fallout series?
Nope. No, I got no interest in it. Zero, zilch. Everyone keeps going, I'll go watch it. I said, I don't want to, thank you.
Well, that's the first 15 minutes of this episode gone then.
No, you can crack on.
Why don't you want to watch it?
Have you watched it all?
No.
No, crack on.
Why? Well, no, but why didn't you want to watch it? You don't like Fallout?
No, I do. I just don't like the look of it. I know it's getting good reviews and rah, but it just, for me, it looks like it's going down the comedy route too much. And Fallout's supposed to be like dark and gritty, not fucking colourful and silly. That's not
Fallout
really
is definitely not dark and gritty.
Well, it is.
It definitely isn't. What fucking Fallout have you played?
Fallout 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
New Vegas.
Yep, same as me. They're all comedic.
Dark and gritty.
No, definitely not. What the fuck have you been playing? What do you mean?
I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean?
They're all a laugh. Not like fucking...
Of course they're not a laugh. Like Fallout 3 and New Vegas are all dark, gritty, fucking grey colour palettes. Everything's like just dark, bro. And then Fallout 4 is all like bright blues and yellows and popping off and shit. Fallout 4 took Fallout in a complete different direction to 3 in New Vegas, and then the series is following that sort of format, so I'm just not interested.
Did you play Fallout 4?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, I liked it, but it's nowhere near as good as 3 in New Vegas. For me, anyway.
See, I wasn't a fan of New Vegas. I liked 3. Did many playthroughs of 3.
I thought New Vegas is the best one.
They're not remastering it, are they? They're updating it.
Yeah, I see that.
For next gen, and then added in a couple of little bits. Fallout 4. I feel like that could be quite exciting. I think I might be a sucker for that one.
Yeah, Clarky was just playing it a couple of weeks ago,
Mm.
so I think he's a bit devastated because he's all Fallouted out now. And they've just going to release the next gen edition, so to speak, with the 60 FPS and all that. So yeah,
Should be exciting. Shame that fucking what was that? Fallout 76. It's
yeah.
a shame that never stabilised.
I think it did. I think it's quite popular, but it's just nothing to really shout about.
Not really. I feel like that's one of those though where it's like, you know how you can't really say that much on Ark Survival because you don't play Ark.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those games where obviously people love it, but I can't question it at all. I feel like that with Fallout 76. I played maybe like 20 hours of it, and that was it. And I ain't got a fucking clue how that was years ago as well. That was like when it released.
Yeah, I probably played it 2 years ago, I'd say, and yeah, it's just not for me. It's just not really. But it's like I say, it was just basically Fallout 4, which I didn't enjoy as much as the others, in a multiplayer skin. So I was never going to like it as much as the other ones. So yeah, not really my thing. But yeah, go ahead, crack on with the. I'm not bothered about spoilers because.
I've only watched one episode.
Yeah, go ahead. If
Nothing to say.
that takes 15 minutes up, crack on.
No, I just liked it, man. It was good. It's very fucking gory, which I enjoyed. And yeah, it's just interesting. Me and Steph were watching it, and I was quite fucking tired after the first episode, so didn't continue on. But I am caught up with Shogun. Have you watched episode 8?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good episode, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We can't say anything on that one because that is spoilers.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It's very good.
I didn't pay too much attention because I had to watch it yesterday. I really wasn't in the fucking mood. I just fucking watched West Ham lose 2-0 in the Europa League. And, yeah, and she's like... I was just about to go to bed after the game. It was like 10 o'clock or something, and then she come in with some Ben and Jerry's and went, Shogun? I was like, fuck's sake. So, yeah, I put it on. I didn't really pay much attention, and it's not a show you can't watch because you have to read the fucking subtitles.
I was literally about to say, I'm in somewhat of a habit when I'm watching something, but it's not grasping my attention. I just start flicking on my phone, and I found whenever I do that in Shogun, I have to like throw my phone across the room because it is one of those where the minute you're not paying attention, them subtitles just fucking blitz through.
Yeah, it's probably the weakest episode so far for me because I was paying zero attention because I was just watching people go mad on Twitter about West Ham. And I was like...
It's a very good episode. You should rewatch it.
Nah,
to fucking fresh your mind.
I saw the main points. I saw the big bits and that. Kind of get where it's going. But to be honest with you, I really like it. But I'm only really interested in it when old John Blackthorne's in it. Because I find his character quite captivating. And I like listening to him and his ways. But when he's not in it, I'm a little bit like... it's not grabbing me as much.
Yeah, so I'm just fucking infatuated with all of it. I think it's great. I'm definitely going to have that sadness when it's finished because it will be. I feel like with the way the story is, it's one of them where definitely wrap it up in a season, but also kind of don't continue it as much as I want it to be continued.
They've already said they're not, so...
Yeah, which is good. Some things just need to be fucking cooked and then left alone.
For sure.
What else was there? There was fucking... What did I see? You see the fucking... that mod for Simpsons Hit and Run?
Nah.
Have you not... You remember ages ago I was talking to you about that guy that was making like a 1-to-1 version of it and using like the same assets and shit like that. Well, it's that guy, and he's basically made like a free mod, I guess. Brandon sent me a video about it, and it's basically just Simpsons Hit and Run, but with a little bit more pizzazz, and it's perfect. But I need to Google it because the developers of that game apparently desperate to remaster it or remake it, but they're not allowed to. And I don't know why.
I have no idea. I've never played it, to be honest with you.
Have you not?
No.
Suppose you were a bit old. Maybe. No, you might have been.
Probably.
If I was playing it when I was a kid and fucking loving it, it might have been fucking past your time.
I'll tell you what I did do. Bought SteamDeck.
Did you?
Yep.
When?
What
What for?
Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah? Which one?
OLED 512.
Stop fucking tapping your leg.
The more you say don't do something, the more I want to do it.
Alright. Well, then everyone will just have to listen to your shitty tapping in the background.
But yeah. Bought a Steam Deck and it comes in 3 to 5 days.
You want to elaborate?
What is there to elaborate on? I bought a Steam Deck.
Fucking hell, you're like a brick wall today. Jesus Christ. Should we just pause it now? Or do you want to just stop it now?
What for?
It's like talking to a fucking ice cream.
That makes no sense.
What? Elaborate.
What do you want me to elaborate on?
Well, why did you buy one? What made you go for the fucking most expensive one?
It's not the most expensive one.
The OLED?
Yeah, it's not the most expensive one. The 1 terabyte is the most expensive one.
Alright, well, still.
The reason I didn't go for the most expensive one is because it's got the anti-glare glass on it. Apparently that makes it worse.
Yeah, that's what I read when I was first looking at them.
So I didn't bother with that.
Fucks around with the resolution a little bit.
Yeah, it just makes the colours not as good and stuff like that. And they said you're better off just buying the 512 one, sticking in a SD card, and then putting your own screen protector on it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do.
That's what I did with
So,
mine.
yeah. I'm excited for that to turn up and play with it and see what it's all about.
What made you go for it?
I don't know. Just fancied it. My mate's got a portal at work. And he's been bringing it in. And he keeps singing its praises. So I said, let me look at it. He let me look at it the other day and it was fucking shocking. It was one of the worst bits of equipment I've ever seen. I don't know who's buying it, why they're buying it. If I bought that, I would be taking it straight back. Absolutely shocking bit of shit.
This is tantalising. Go on.
It's shit. Have you played one?
No.
It's fucking shocking. You have to have your PlayStation on or on standby mode or whatever. It connects to his hotspot, and it's fucking awful. I was playing Mortal Kombat single player, so offline, and it's fucking jittery. It's glitching. It's like lagging, but it's offline.
Like input lag type shit.
No, just lagging. It's like it's got input lag for sure, but yeah, it was glitching all over the screen. It was just like it was pixelating. I was like, how are you playing this, bro? And he plays Ark on it as well.
But you are supposed to use it with a stable connection.
Yeah, but his connection is like 5G and that. So, you know, I don't know. It's shocking. He said it doesn't get much better than that. It can be better, but
Oh, really?
yeah, it's not great. Obviously, it's made for being used at home, but
Yeah, pretty much.
the main reason he's got it is because he hasn't got another telly. So whilst everyone else on the telly he wants to play his PlayStation, so he got that. But nah, you can find you have to have your PlayStation on, right, or on standby. So if you go out, forget to put your PlayStation in standby or whatnot, then you can't play it anyway.
That's a feature that I really don't like about it, but also it would be so easily solved. Well, I say easily, but I don't think it would be that simple to just have the ability to switch your PlayStation on from the app, because you can switch it on from standby mode in the app because it has to be turned on in order to be using the portal. But you can switch it on if it's in standby, if it's in rest mode.
On.
Yeah, it has to turn it on.
Fuck that.
Has to turn it on.
What a load of shit.
Because it's don't think of it like it's it's essentially streaming the game. So any game that you're playing on the Portal has to be downloaded on your PlayStation, and your PlayStation has to be switched on, which you can switch it on as long as it's in rest mode, but you can't switch it on if it's turned off, which I've always found annoying, because like, well, if you've got the feature for me to turn the fucker on when it's in rest mode, surely you must have the feature for me to switch it on when it's turned off. That would make more sense, because like you just said, if you've then gone out and you're going, oh fuck, I ain't turned my PlayStation on, you can just pull up the app and go, ba-ding, turn that on.
Just makes no sense. I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea to design it like that. I mean, why not design it similar to the Steam Deck, where it can just connect to your PlayStation account and access your PlayStation library? Surely they have to be able to do that.
Because then you would need to think of all the software. It's far easier from a software point of view to stream something than it is to create a device that can hold all of the information on that device to be able to then play that as good as if you were just streaming it. If you think like the Steam Deck, the amount of hardware that's in that, or the Asus ROG, any of that shit, the Lenovo, they're powerhouses, whereas the Portal is just a streaming device. It hasn't got any of that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot cheaper, isn't it? It's £200, but I think you might as well pay extra and get something that's actually usable, because unless you're in your house, I wouldn't be using that. It's shit.
Yeah.
I certainly won't be playing online games. Fuck that.
But it's also,
and the input lag is doggy.
But you have to,
even on the main menu of the PlayStation screen, it's lagging.
You got to remember as well that it was never advertised or intended to be used outside.
I didn't even know you could until he told me you could. I didn't believe him.
It was made for that one reason of, if there's no free TV, I can use the Portal. And a lot of people jumped on it and enjoyed that. I don't know if, I'm going to imagine that if you are connected to a stable Wi-Fi, that it would play a lot better than if you're connected to fucking 5G, because it's just not as stable as Wi-Fi.
I don't like the fact that you have to be streaming everything all the time. Why? Why can't they just make a new PlayStation handheld? Why they got? No one wants this fucking Portal shit. Everyone wants a new Vita or PSP. Everyone's always crying about, give me a new Vita. No one wants a device that essentially is useless unless you're next to the console you could already be playing.
You know what? I don't really know, because you remember with the PSP, you'd get different discs, wouldn't you? They were smaller.
Yeah, is that the older one? The PSP was the older one, is it? Or the Vita was the older one?
I think the PSP was the older one.
I think PSP was the first one.
Was the first one, then you had the Vita. I only had the PSP. And you used to get the little discs with it.
Yeah.
I was about to make a point of, maybe they don't want to fork out the infrastructure to then hold something like that. However, most shit is digital now.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 5 is only 800 gig brand new, like storage-wise. And then 100 of that is taken up by the system. So call it 700 maximum. Is that what you've got? Well, like you said, by Steam Deck is a terabyte. The fucking SD card that I've slapped in my little one was like 500 and something, and it was like 30 quid.
How do you do that? Because there's two slots in there. There's a SD thing, and then you can get like an internal one to put inside as well. No. Did you have to take yours apart?
No, mine's literally on the underside of it, so where you're holding it, underneath it, you literally, like a SIM card, you just pop that in, and then when you download stuff or when you look in your storage or whatever, it'll literally say internal and then SD card.
There's I watched a video yesterday of some geezer taking it all apart and that, and he was putting like a new storage thing inside. I was like, fuck doing all that. I'm not that capable.
Yeah, it's probably just changing the hard drive.
He was putting internal storage in.
Yeah, changing the hard drive.
No, I don't know. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to. You just buy a fucking memory card and just slot that in. But
yeah, you can like download games on Steam, right, and then just play them without being connected to the internet.
Yeah.
So that is what the PlayStation needs, I think. I don't know why. The market to have a handheld console that can only be used to stream, essentially next to the machine that you're streaming from. The market must be so small.
It's very niche, and it was expensive for what it is as well.
£200's nothing to sniff at, is it?
No, not for the reasons of, I can't use a telly at the moment. Let me switch my PlayStation on and get that all going, and then go and use a fucking little portal in the
Especially
corner.
as you can get like a normal Steam Deck now for like 300 quid. Like, why would you buy the portal? Like, if you're willing to spend and you've got £200 expendable funds, don't spend it on a fucking portal.
Yeah, because a lot of games that are on PlayStation are now on Steam as well. The gap is getting ever increasingly smaller in terms of what you can and can't play across different platforms. The near future very much is you should be able to play everything on everything, which I think is what most companies are aiming for, because that's kind of where the money is. But obviously we had this conversation when it was first announced and then when it come out, and that we could not understand the reasoning behind the PlayStation Portal. Give me a fucking PS5 with a terabyte on it before you give me a fucking PlayStation Portal. Where's my fucking terabyte PS5? It was like 500 something quid. Where the fuck's that?
I had no interest in the portal at all.
Who sat there in a board meeting? Who sat there and went, we need to do something innovative for the PlayStation. We got to keep a player base and we got to fucking drum up some money and some business. What should we do? What can we think of? We got SteamDecks popping up. We got Lenovo Legions popping up. We got Asus. We got all the other weird ones popping up. What should we come up with? Well, I know. Let's not do that, and we'll just split a controller in half, put a phone screen in front of it, and then we'll stream everything right next to the PlayStation that you've already got.
Don't get me wrong, it feels good. Like the control and stuff, it feels really nice. It's a very nice feeling handheld. And as I say, I had no interest in it at all. Not one piece of me ever even paid it any mind. And then when he said he got one, and I said, you can't play that at work, right? He was like, no, you can. I was like, I don't think you can. He brought it in and showed me. Instantly, I was like, all right, if this is good, then I'm going to buy one.
Interesting.
I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
And as soon as, because he was like, not gassing it up, but he was like, no, it's all right. It's all right. It's not too bad. And then as soon as it come on, right, bear in mind, I pressed the power button, did nothing. I held it for 2 seconds or something, did nothing. I was like, what am I doing? He's like, yeah, you have to hold it for a very long time. I must have held that button for about 6-7 seconds for anything to happen. And then for it to actually connect to his, because if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, it does nothing, like literally nothing. You can't even look through your screen. You can't do anything. And it took probably about 3 or 4 minutes to connect to his hotspot. And then as soon as it become available, and I moved left or right on his homepage, the input lag was I was just like, wow, I couldn't play any game like this. Because when you're like, when you're talking to someone on the phone and they're, for some reason, I don't know why this happens, it happened to me the other day, funnily enough, there's just a delay.
Yeah.
And then you're talking and waiting ages.
So off-putting.
It's horrible. And that's the same as input lag, right? It's a horrible feeling. I couldn't play like that. So when I booted up Mortal Kombat, and I thought that's a simple enough single-player game, you can play it. Just Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. And it was just going all pixely, it was like the screen was tearing. Do you know what I mean? It was fucking awful. Honestly, I just can't for the life of me see what on earth possessed them to make that. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't know if you can play that whilst someone else is playing your PlayStation 5.
No.
Well, yeah, exactly. So what is the point of it?
No, you can only, because obviously you can have multiple accounts on your PlayStation. You can have a primary account as well and a secondary and blah, blah, blah. As far as I'm aware, you can't flick between the two. If you're playing on your portal while your PlayStation's turned on and someone switches the user, then it cuts it all off.
That's dog shit, man.
Because it's streaming from that PlayStation, but that account as well. It's proper odd. It's really odd, and it's strange because it's not even like you can say that PlayStation have never dabbled in the handheld universe, because they definitely have.
No, everyone loved their Vitas.
Yes.
People still play them now.
Yeah, they definitely have. So why in a world where handhelds are popping up left, right, and centre, you wouldn't just go, oh fuck it, let's have a crack. You know what I mean? Because
ain't the Switch like one of the, if not the highest selling console this generation?
I think so, yeah.
Everyone wants the Switch.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the handheld shit. And I know a lot of them sales come from COVID where people wanted it and stuff like that. But the handheld thing is massive. Like, why are you not... what is the point of the portal? That is what I can't grasp. What is the point? I really don't get it. And it's disappointing, but that is my reasoning. Basically, I was like, I didn't realise I wanted a handheld until I almost wanted a Portal, and then I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. Let me look at these Steam Decks.
Well, I haven't used my Steam Deck for months.
But you're a PC player, right? So I'm not.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
I regard that as possibly one of the coolest gaming purchases I've ever made in my life. Because despite me not using it, it's there. I check it routinely because I don't want to let the battery run out to 0, because you're not supposed to do that because it's not good for battery health. And I keep it updated, and it just sits in the drawer, so it's fine, and I'll use it whenever I get that itch to want to use it again. And if I don't, I don't. Fuck it.
But the difference is with you, right, is that if you went to France or something, I don't know.
I'll bring it with me.
Yeah, but you could take your laptop, and you probably would take your laptop.
Whereas
I won't do that or have anything really that I would do that for, but I would definitely take the Steam Deck. And yeah, I just think like the things you can do on it. Obviously, I was torn because I bought the Steam Deck, then I was dumb. I was running out of battery on my phone, and I was like, I really want to buy it now before my battery dies. And then it died, and then I started looking more into detail about it, which is the wrong way to do things. Don't do things the way I did it. But I went home, and then I started like doing the comparisons between the ROG and what's the other one?
The Lenovo Legion.
Right. So they're good. Like they've all got their pros and they've all got their cons.
Mm-hmm.
But 99% of the videos I watched all said, if you have to pick the three, go for the Steam Deck, because whilst this might have slightly better frame rate, this might have slightly better performance, all in all package, the Steam Deck does it the best.
The Steam Deck is your jack of all.
And a lot of people are comparing it to back in my day when I was really little. And the handheld market was big then. Like the Steam Deck is the Game Boy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then the ROG is like the little Sega. I can't remember what they had.
Mega Drive or something.
No, they had their own little handheld. I can't remember the Game Gear. So like they've got like, but the Game Boy is the one, isn't it? Right. So, and also like Steam Deck's in it for the long haul. You know, because Steam have already got their audience. They've got you by the bollocks.
Steam Deck has its operating systems there. Mm-hmm. And obviously like Valve has the money. Not saying that fucking Asus don't or fucking Lenovo, but the ROG runs on Microsoft. Obviously the Steam Deck runs on
it's Linux or something.
Linux, that's the one.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. They kept saying that. I have no idea.
You don't need to. It's just basically Linux is it. It's like the developer mode of fucking a computer. It lets you delve in and do basically whatever you want. Whereas like like my laptop, for example, I can, but if I wanted to get into all the files of the laptop itself and get really into the nitty and gritty, it's a little bit more difficult on something that's on Windows, whereas Linux is sort of, it's designed as like for a developer, basically. It's designed in a way that you are able to do whatever you want with it, which is very good if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it's very bad because you can fuck it up really easily.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. Yeah.
My recommendation is do not go into the desktop mode unless you're just going on Google. Do not go into that and have a look because everything's there. Absolutely everything. But there are so many guides on YouTube that are idiot-proof that...
Well, I don't know. I'll put that to the test.
You're able to figure stuff out pretty easily. I mean, don't get me wrong. It already has emulators pre-downloaded onto it.
That's another thing. Like, I don't mean to interrupt, mate, but you can fucking play Tears of the Kingdom on it.
Yeah.
You can get a Nintendo Switch emulator.
Yeah.
Like, why are you buying a Portal?
Yeah. Dolphin and all that shit's already thrown in there.
I don't understand. I've always wondered, because I've often seen it, like Tears of the Kingdom is so much better with like Unbreakable Weapon mod, and I'm just like, how the fucking modding that shit?
It's a little bit more difficult. So I tried to emulate a couple of Pokemons on there, and it weren't working for me. The guides I was watching, for whatever reason, it wasn't working. I'm sure I was just doing something stupid because it is a lot of move files to here, unzip them here, blah blah blah. but it's the fact that I couldn't do it doesn't mean that it's stupid. It just means that I'm stupid.
No.
The fact that you can do that on this little fucking handheld device that was sub 500 quid is incredible. You're able to emulate anything, and it's not like it's we're in the dark web here doing shit that we're not supposed to be doing. Valve encourage you to do it. They encourage you to fuck around with the settings and to do little cool tricks. I mean, fuck me, you can put WoW on it.
Yeah,
no, I mean you can put anything on it.
Mate, that's the key for me. What you just said there is like I won't put a Nintendo emulator on it. I know I won't.
But
the fact that you can is enough for me.
Yeah, you'll probably play it the same way as I do, and that is just stay in the fucking Steam.
Oh, for sure.
There's
so many games on Steam that I want to play, but I never can for two reasons. One, I don't play the laptop enough. Two, I only like playing with controls. So the Steam Deck, all the games that I want to play, I can play on a controller. And I know I can plug the Xbox controller in the Steam. It's not comfortable for me. Yeah. Also, another thing you can do, you can dock it and get it on the telly.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you buying a Portal?
The
fucking thing.
The negatives of it, I will say, and they're only slight, is that for me, I feel it's just slightly too wide when you're playing it, and it feels comfortable, but on the analog sticks and the triggers, sometimes they just feel a little bit too far apart where you're almost like stretching to have to do stuff. But that's like, it's no deal breaker. It's not unplayable. It's just a little thing that I noticed when you go from a DualShock to Steam Deck. It will do. The battery on them is wank. The battery on them are just shit. But you're asking it to do a lot. However, ways that I come around that is, if I'm planning on, if you want to fucking take it to work with you when you know you're not doing much that day, do what I do. Spend a little bit of fucking extra money, get yourself a battery pack that's It has to be one that's powerful enough, because I bought one that was just a standard one and they're not powerful enough. The one that I've got is, and it will give you a full 100% in one. I think you can do it twice before the battery block runs out. So whatever I did when I was playing it, rather than just let it run out, I just plugged the fucker in. Because also, what's very smart with the Steam Deck is to preserve the battery. When you plug it in, it will bypass the battery itself and just go straight to whatever you've plugged it in. So it's not drawing charge from the battery. It will go up to a certain point, like charge it to like 90% odd, things like 95, 96%, and then it will stop charging. And then it will just draw its power straight from the power source that you plugged it into. Same as this laptop. That's why this laptop only ever is turned on with the battery plugged in. But the battery itself is absolutely fine, because it's not using the battery. It's using the fucking mains that I'm plugged into. And the Steam Deck works exactly the same. That's why when Steph was playing Baldur's Gate 3 on the Steam Deck, I did a load of research, because I was worried, because she was playing with it plugged in, because it would die quite quick. And then that's when I found out all the shit that it is clever. It will just bypass the battery entirely when it knows there's a fucking direct source. It's very, very intuitive.
Yeah, it's genius.
It's very clever.
And things like that. Baldur's Gate, bang, get me in. Do you know what I mean? Just, I can play Baldur's Gate on the go. Yeah. Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, Baldur's Gate looks way worse on the Steam Deck than on like the laptop or PlayStation or whatever, but you can fiddle with the settings to make it look as good as it's going to look on the Steam Deck. Like, don't expect stuff to look as perfect as it does on a PlayStation, but really not that bad.
I'm not bothered about graphics anyway. I never have been. Like the big hitters, obviously, I'm still going to play on the consoles and stuff like that. But when I want to play The Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon, any of
Vampire Survivors,
Brotato. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
You know
it's
what I mean?
For that
I love all the little indie games. Something like, what's that game you and Connor were playing?
Oh, what, Enshrouded?
Yeah. That's the sort of shit I want to be playing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, and obviously it has the added benefit of, I've bought it for Steam. It doesn't, like, I want to play it, but I want to, like, sit back and just have a controller. Well, then I'll just bring up Steam on the laptop and plug a controller in.
But you can all
Steam. It's an account I'm adding games to.
But you can play your Steam Deck, but then open up Steam on your laptop, and then basically pull your emulate your screen on your Steam Deck onto your laptop through Steam. So, like, it's very niche, and I only did it a couple of times because you don't fucking need to do that. But you are able, because obviously they're the same system. One thing I do like about the Steam Deck as well is the customization of just your profile.
Yeah, what is that? Because I just in Steam in general, because when I bought it gave me like 6,500 Steam points. What the
Yeah,
fuck
you get Steam points.
What do they do?
There's a shop where basically on the Steam Deck and on your Steam account basically, you can change like the border around your profile picture. Like mine, for example, my icon is the Watch the Buttons logo.
Nice.
And then the border is like this green slime that's forever dropping down the picture, but it's the exact same color as the green in the background to Watch the Button, so it's quite cool. And then on your actual Steam profile that everyone can view, you can change the banners, the fucking background, the wallpapers. You can have dynamic wallpapers and like some really cool artistic shit.
I think Connor added me on Steam before, and he had loads of flashy shit. And I was like, wow.
I'll show you after this. But then with the Steam Deck, it has a startup animation.
Yeah, that was one of the extra things on the terabyte version, was that it gives you a startup video or something.
Yeah, I've got the startup animation
movie or some shit.
Yeah, and you can buy more of them with the Steam points, and you can also set it to randomize. So I've got about 10 different ones, and it will randomize it every time I turn it on.
Something like that, so little, but so fucking cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
I saw some of them.
Crisp.
As I was going through them, I didn't know what the points exactly were for, but all the things I was seeing were them. And there were things like, it's not, but it was things like the Balrog from Lord of the Rings, like flying in flames and whoa, and then it'd come on
some
and
cool
stuff.
shit.
And I was like, that's cool. Just to have the Steam Deck start up like that would be gassing.
Yeah, some very, very cool shit. There's
very cool.
There's like a few bugs that I've run into before. So like, for example, every now and then, whenever like after a long time of playing it, when you because you never turn it off, just like the Switch, you just put it into rest mode. You don't you don't have to turn the fucking thing off. You just
I'm OCD about that. I have to turn everything off. I get well OCD. I have to like shut stuff down. The Switch was always like that. It was hard to shut it down. It was such a pain in the arse.
Well, don't do it with the Steam Deck.
But I like
it's not what it's intended for. It's intended to be put into just fucking sleep mode. But every now and then I encounter a bug where I put it into sleep mode and the screen will turn off. But you know when a screen's turned off, but you know it isn't.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like say you lose the HDMI from your telly and it goes that black, but it's like a lighter black.
Yeah, not black.
Yeah, it will do that, and it's basically because there's some thing running in the background that's preventing it from fully turning off, and I have to fucking fiddle around with it and fuck about. But it's only happened a couple of times. Nothing like deal breaker. And yeah, that's about it. I think there's been a couple times where like it hasn't turned on properly, but I just put it down to, whilst it's annoying, it's also a teething problem because this is the first handheld that Valve have ever come out with, and mine's also the most basic model that you can get.
Yeah, the OLED, it says like there's the multiple improvements, and the battery life is supposed to be better.
Battery life's supposed to be better.
Not amazingly better, but better nevertheless.
The processing speed is better. The speed of pulling games from the SD card to actually playing is better, because that's another thing. You have to pick the right SD card. You can't just throw a cheap... Well, you can just throw a cheap one in, but it's not going to be as good as the more expensive, like Samsung Evo fucking SD card. They all have their preference. I think mine's like a SanDisk. Or no, I think mine might be a Samsung Evo, to be fair. But yeah, the version that you've bought has like the best processing speed. But when you do a side-by-side comparison, you're talking like 0.5 seconds.
Oh yeah,
it's really nothing.
Yeah, it's minuscule.
This is why I went for the most basic one, because I was like, I'll just throw an SD card into it, because I knew that future me wouldn't be playing it as much as fucking past me thought I would be.
Smart.
So I was like, I'm not going to spend a silly amount of money, because whilst it's cool to have, I don't want to... I'd be more pissed off if I'd spent like 500 quid on it and it's just been sat in my drawer for 2 months without being touched.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Whereas now, where it's like, it's there, it's cool, it's a couple hundred quid, I'll crack it out when I want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can dock it. I always forget that you can dock them.
Yeah, like I say, there's loads of stuff I want to get for it, and then the case that they give you is already powerful. Like the case is like a big bulky protective
Yeah, I've got
thing.
one.
Yeah, it's a big bulky protective case.
Yeah.
I need to get the screen protectors. I need to make sure I get the right one for that because I'm terrible at putting them on. I had one on the Switch and I always end up getting a bubble and it pisses me off. But yeah, like I say, I've watched so many videos yesterday. I watched too many videos. It made me feel sick. Yeah, I'm gassed. I can't wait to get it, play around with it, see what it is.
Even down to the in-game overlay, there's a button on it where you can just press it and it'll come up with a list of options.
Yep, see that.
One of them is just performance, and it has a slider on it, and it will go from something as minute as it will just show you your frames in the top right, but then it will show you your frames and your fucking like your wattage or whatever, and then like the beefiest one, it just gives you a drop down of fucking everything that's going on in the background, like all the numbers and shit. It looks really cool, but I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. But it's very quick and easy to just flick between it all.
Yeah,
it's very nice, and you can change the battery set. It's just a computer.
It's great.
That's all it is.
Another reason I really wanted it was because as we literally spoke about it last week, and this wasn't even on my mind when we were talking about it. But like that cross save shit, like that's coming into Helldivers.
Yeah.
So to play Helldivers 2 on the PS5 at home, and then just grind it out while I'm out and about, or I've been anchoring. I don't know why I am the way I am, and I don't know why I'm like this, but I am. So deal with it. I've been anchoring to play a bit of ESO. And I don't know why. But the fact that I can play ESO out and about is fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if that is. I don't know if I could play that on the Xbox.
ESO isn't cross.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But
annoying. Nevertheless, I could just play it. I've seen people play on there and they play solely on the Steam Deck. And I'm just like, that's
I will
just
give
fantastic.
it all the times I've played it at work and I've been connected to my hotspot. It hasn't been a single issue. There's been no buffering. There's been no issue. Like the games that I've been playing have played absolutely fine when they're connected to the hotspot. Mind you, it'll fucking rinse your data. But if you've got unlimited, like a lot of people do,
yeah, I do.
Then you're all sweet.
Well, you could play the Portal and then play single player games and have a terrible time. Nuts to me. Absolute nuts.
The Wolfensteins played really well on Steam Deck.
Yeah, you were playing the Jedi Survivor one as well, weren't you? Jedi Fallen Order you played for a bit on there.
Yep, and then all like Spider-Man's on there. There's another thing that I love is when you're on the Steam Deck, when you go into Steam, because obviously when you turn it on, it fucking loads it all up. You're already there in your profile, and it has the store there. It tells you it has the category in there for Steam Deck, so all the games that are verified good to play on the Steam Deck. And even if there's ones that, because they'll have like a green tick to say that no, these are perfect for Steam Deck, and then there'll be ones where there's like a little orange sort of circle thing where it's like, yeah, these are good, like these are fine, but there are some issues. And then there's ones where it will go like untested or not suitable for Steam Deck. But even then, we spoke about it ages ago. The ones aren't suitable. For example, one of the Prince of Persia's, it says is absolutely not compatible with Steam Deck. That is because there's one tiny online aspect that doesn't work on Steam Deck, but the rest of the game does.
Yeah.
So even then, you haven't got to fucking listen to it.
You just got to double check.
Well, I'll remember it for you. There's a website. I think when you get your Steam Deck, actually in one of the books they give you, it tells you the website where you can look it up, and you can look up any game that you want, and it will give you a rating on how good it is on the Steam Deck and give you loads of real player reviews on how it played, so you can figure out before you buy shit if it will work.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier rather than you spending like fucking 50 quid on whatever.
Gassed for Football Manager. I've also like all the games that I've thought about, I've googled, and if they're good on Steam Deck, and I haven't found one that I've wanted that people have gone, nah, shit.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah, I'm not really a Borderlands fan, man.
Very fun on the Steam Deck. I'm not a Borderlands fan, but very fun. It's that was very because it's like a board game when you're traversing around the world, and then you go into like first person shooter mode.
Yeah.
Look at some stuff on it, man. It was a real quirky, fucking fun game. I know Connor played it. He liked it.
I just want it to turn up now, and that is painful to me. Because I could have got it on Amazon, but it was like 200 quid more, and I genuinely thought about it for a second.
Buy it straight from fucking Steam.
Yeah, I did. But now I have to wait. They emailed me on the way in, though, and I was like, come on, baby. Because I bought it, and I haven't heard from them since. I was like, you motherfuckers.
What you have to do is make sure that it's updated, like any PC. When you turn it on, whatever the button is on the left-hand side, either 3 dots or whatever, and then you scroll down to system. And then it's literally the first one. It says system update, and you just check that every now and then because periodically you need to update it.
Sick though, no?
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for me.
I think it's cool. It'll be because I think it'll be cool for you as well because you've obviously come from a Nintendo Switch, so you'll get the full view of the comparison because they're so unsimilar.
But it's just like, you know what it is, right? I love the Switch because it's a handheld console. And when I didn't this time because I haven't got a Switch anymore. I gave them to the kids. And when I was in Ireland, I just reading. And I love reading and I don't want to stop doing that either. But, like, it doesn't have to be like a deep fucking game. To just be able to pick a console up and whack Star Wars Battlefront on and just fuck about. Just shooting shit. Like that's enough for me. Like that'll do me. I haven't got
Dave
to start
the Diver,
playing.
Dredge,
exactly all them ones.
Little
like,
Nightmares.
They're the sort of games I want to be playing. Like I want to have. There's loads of games that are on my backlog that I haven't actually bought.
Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, little things like that, bro. You know, Terraria. Fucking like. I'd be much more inclined to play Stardew Valley because that's the sort of game I would rather play. Not on the. I don't want to play it on a big screen on a control. But if I want to play it on the little fucking...
Well, Hi-Fi Rush was the first game I properly completed. Fucking Shadow of War.
Sick game.
Really good on fucking
But
Steam
that's what I mean. Games like that, bro. To just sit there and play that.
Yeah, really good.
Amazing. I'm gassed. I can't wait. I told Jem that I got it. She didn't ask me no prices, so I told her no lies. It's because I've got a washing machine the other day, so I kind of felt like... I said to Matt, I was like, you know what? I want to buy myself something, man. Maybe not like that.
So
but
it was the washing machine, a present for Jem.
Well, as fucked up, isn't it? So I had to get one. And I said to her, I just called her up. I was like, the washing machine there yet? So I paid a little bit extra, take the old one away, install a new one. She didn't have to lift a finger, you know, I'm that kind of guy. I said, the washing machine there. She's like, I love it. She loves that sort of shit. I don't know why. She's like, I fucking love it. I love the washing machine. I'm so happy. I was like, are you really happy? She's like, yeah. I was like, I bought myself a little SteamDeck. She's like, what's that? I was like basically a Game Boy. She was like, oh, good for you.
Basically a Game Boy. You've talked that down so much.
Yeah, I just...
Rather than saying, it's a computer.
Yeah, so she's just like, ask no questions, hear no lies.
Yeah, true.
She'll probably Google it and go, what the fuck?
It's a very unique powerhouse that started a very good trend and a very innovative trend. And it plays a lot of AAA games very, very well, but it plays indie games absolutely incredibly.
Bro, there's so many games on Steam that I can't play. Or I can play, like I said, I can play the laptop, but I'm just not built like that. I don't. For me I haven't got a big table to sit at and be comfortable, or a gaming chair or anywhere I could sit. It just has to be on my lap, really, and it's uncomfortable and I don't like it. So, like, there's so many games that I want to play, but I can't play comfortably. And even then, like I say, I could get the Steam Deck, dock it, and play it on the telly. So I can have that ultimate comfort. I'm guessing to do that, you probably need a controller of some description.
What, to dock it?
No, to dock it and then play on the telly, because your Steam Deck's obviously docked. You can't play it while it's docked, like, with the things.
Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure how it works, but yeah, there's...
It's basically, I know that there's the dock in it, and then the USB goes in the back, and then you plug it in the HDMI.
Yeah, I just don't know the controller scenario.
I don't know if it's the Steam controller or Xbox controller or whatever you want to use. I don't know. But the fact that you can, as I said...
I think you might be able to connect your DualShock to it.
It's just amazing. I can't wait. I'm fucking gassed.
I think you could connect your PlayStation controller to it.
What's that game I always see people go on about that I've always wanted to play, never had a chance? I think it's called, like, V for Rising or something. Is it called that? Have you heard of that?
V for Rising.
V, as in the letter V.
As in Victor.
Yeah, and then I'm sure it's called V for Rising. Or V Rising. Well, yeah, V Rising. Yeah, that one. There it is, look. That thing. But it's always like, people always gassing about it. Vampire, hunt for blood in nearby settlements to regain strength, evade the scorching sun to survive. Raise your castle and thrive in an ever-changing open world full of mystery, gain allies online and conquer the land of living.
Oh, it looks like a kind of Diablo-esque.
I think it's more like what's that game we played? Valheim. I think it's more like that, but...
It's an upcoming action role-playing survival game developed by Stunlock Studios and published by Level Infinite. First announced on May 5th, 2021 for Windows. It entered early access on May 17th, 2022, and it is scheduled to be released on May 8th, 2024. Within a week, it had surpassed 1 million sales.
Oh, it's coming soon, yeah. That's good timing, you know. But that's what I mean. Games like that.
Fucking hell, it's $35, so whatever that is. Just under 70,000 reviews, 9 out of 10 stars on Steam.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's big in the game, bro. I always see people play it and they love it, and it looks like my fucking jam. Very positive, 88%.
Yeah. Sorry, it already come out.
Yeah, it's already out on like early access, right?
Oh shit! Yeah.
It's been out for a long time, early access.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a really popular game. So,
Awaken as a Vampire, Hunt for Blood, and you just said that, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm sure it's more like Valheim kind of vibe, but it's a really popular game and one I've always wanted to play, and I've been waiting for it to console, but obviously it's never come out anyway. And it's just that's exactly the sort of game that I always want to play but never can.
What was this? This is from 19th of March, with 77.8 hours on record. I wish this had controller support so I can play on SteamDeck or just use on PC.
Of course. Well, that's shit all over that. But that's what I mean, though. That is the sort of game that I'd love to play.
I mean, they might... I don't know. It's probably worth... Don't go off of just one review of someone saying... There's no one else saying that it fucking... Like, there's no one else mentioning it. Awesome game. I wish all early access games were this flawless. If you're into the vampire lore, this game is for you. The developers allowed plenty of room for you to run wild with your imagination when building your castle and the garden. The graphics are very pleasing, the gameplay is awesome, but the music is something to die for. I never bought a game soundtrack, but I will now. It's just so pleasing. How does a game have 3 DLC expansion packs if it's still in early access?
It's the way it goes now. It says here, is V-Rising Steam Deck compatible? And it says it's compatible on the Steam Deck on Steam, but it only uses mouse and keyboard support. So it doesn't make any sense.
Well, you can put a mouse, but what you can do with the beauty of Steam, so you know how, again, we've said before, on PlayStation, if you buy something, the minute you download it, you are unable to refund it under special circumstances. They are cunts for that kind of stuff. Whereas Steam, they have a no bullshit policy where basically you buy a game, you've got a certain amount of time, you can fucking return it.
Yeah.
So if you really wanted to, you could buy it, download it, see for yourself what actually cracks on, and then if it doesn't work, just fucking refund it and get your money back. And it's literally as simple as refund, reason why, done.
Well, it says people do play it on Steam Deck. It's just not as easy as it would be on keyboard and mouse.
So there you go then. So yeah, you might be right.
Community controls work well. You can tell it wasn't meant for controller, but you can certainly do it.
Yeah, there you go. So your dreams haven't been diminished. You may continue.
But that I say, that is the sort of game that I really want to play, and they're the perfect games for Steam Deck.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's a category that tells you like what's being played, and it gives you the top list of like the most popular games, and I think they do have one for the Steam Deck category, like what are the most the popping games for fucking Steam Deck.
And it's good as well because Jen watches so much shit on the telly that I'm not interested in. But much like yourself and Steph, I like it because she can go and watch like stuff in the bedroom. But I don't like that. I like to be like next to her, even if we're not doing or watching the same shit. So she can watch her shit and I can play my shit and we're all happy.
Plus, Steam Deck has a whammo fucking charger, and a whammo charger means that this charges in about 30 minutes.
Oh, you plug your phone into that, do you?
Not supposed to, but yeah, charges it fucking super quick, rapid quick.
Love that.
Yeah, they're fantastic things. I'll when you get it, if you want to get a battery pack and shit like that, I'll send you the link
Oh
for
man, I've got so many accessories I need to get for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send
I'm
you
like
the
a
one.
kid at Christmas. This is the closest I get to feeling like a child does before its birthday or Christmas.
The only thing is that I don't know if anyone's come out with any decent cases. The case you get with it is very good.
Yeah,
But I don't know if anyone's come out with any cool cases. And you can't put a case over the Steam Deck itself. There's no like skins for the Steam Deck as such, unless you're like custom making them. I don't think.
No, I saw someone with a white thing on theirs. They said they put some white shit on there, but I'm not interested in that. I literally just want it to be safe.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just want
Screen protector. Get a power bank for it, and then you're good to go. That's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Start of your journey, and if you play it, and well, to be fair, I feel like you're the kind of person where you aren't gonna play it for 5 minutes and then put it down. That makes sense. I think it seems to suit your lifestyle pretty well.
It's perfect for me. There's only one concern I have for it, and it's got nothing to do with it per se. It's just all I do now is read when I'm not playing computer. Like, I'm obviously not at home with the kids. If I'm out and about or I'm on the lunch break, I just read. I don't want that to stop because I love reading, and I've just started that 33 book series. I finished that series, by the way. What a shit ending. 6 books. 6 fucking books I read.
Yeah.
Ending is fucking shocking.
Bad, yeah.
Well, the last fucking words come from a character that no one gives a shit about and hasn't been in the last book.
It's great.
Like, and there's so many characters that were just like, well, what happened to them then? Like, they were building up. So there's a whole book about one guy who was like fucking basically a dragon, and he was doing this, that, and the other. He lost the battle, and then at the end of the book, it was like, but it's not over, rah, 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 rah. Well, I never heard from him again. Well, fucking
Great.
shocking. And I looked into it because I was like, am I just not a avid reader, or is that terrible? And it was like, apparently there was like 3 different authors throughout them 6 books. So I can see why it just got a bit shit.
Yeah.
Infuriated.
I'm
me.
currently reading 2 books alongside each other.
I could never do that. That's mental.
Reading one about Frau. It's that archive that I'm reading where it's got 3 books in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second one in that installment, and then I'm reading another one which is about the Lich King. But the one about the Lich King stays in the work van. So when I'm not fucking working, but I'm at work, then I'll crack that out like I did today. And then the other one stays by my bedside, so I read that. But what I did have is I didn't read both of them for a couple of days and kind of forgot where I was. So I had to quickly like flick through a page to figure out what the fuck was going on. But yeah, no, it's good, man. I'm enjoying it, really enjoying it, far more than what I ever thought I would. I've for a long time thought, oh, reading's fucking boring, but no, I'm involved with it. Steph's made me a bookmark that's just a penis.
Love that.
So that's very good.
Love that.
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, it's weird because this archive's written by 3 different authors as well, and you can definitely tell the difference in the authors. One, the first one is written by this guy called like Chris Knack or some shit like that, and I don't like his style. Whereas the one I'm reading at the moment, both of them are the author is a woman called Christy Golden, I think, and she's fantastic.
You definitely learn about an author's style very quickly, and you can just tell when it's
that Knack geezer's just fucking boring, man. Just waffles on. Whereas this Christy woman, she's decent. I'm gonna continue reading.
That's what it's all about, bro.
And that's that. And I'm sure next week we'll be able to fucking talk about Steam Deck again.
I hope so. I hope it's
A hands-on review. When did you order it?
Yesterday. It said 3 to 5 days, but I don't know if that's working days or I don't know.
Yeah, it should be. You should be alright. Alright, sweet. See you later. Hooroo.
Hooroo.